Shalom, giving all praise to Yahweh, Hashem, El Shai, Hashem, Rakakodash, Shalom to the 144,000 and the rest of your elect out there. Shalom to you all. Anyway, I'm going to entitle this video, "This Wicked Kingdom is About to Fall." / Adultery is no longer illegal in New York or New York State. And this was as of 4 hours ago. Adultery is no longer illegal in New York. Adultery is no longer a crime in New York. Governor Kathy Hochul on Friday signed off on repealing a 1907 law prohibiting the act. So a brother left a comment making this statement. So I said, well, let me put it in the Google, and this was just put up. So let me hit news. So this is a completely wicked, corrupt, evil, demonic kingdom. Adultery is no longer illegal in New York. Cheating on your spouse is no longer a crime in New York. The Most High is getting ready to take this place out. New York just decriminalized adultery 117 years later. Cheating on your spouse is no longer a crime in New York with the repeal of a little-known 1907 law. New York repeals 1907 law that made cheating on a spouse a crime. And there was never no crime. That adultery goes on all over the goddamn place in this country. One more step to the complete, utter destruction of this fucked up ass kingdom. I'll try to make this short. Thou shalt not commit adultery. Exodus 20, verse 14. I'm not going to... Okay, there's 40 verses. Neither shalt thou commit adultery. But whoso committeth adultery with a woman lacketh understanding. He that doeth it destroyeth his own soul. Jeremiah 3 and 8. And I saw when for all causes whereby backsliding Israel committed adultery. That adultery is talking about spiritual adultery. Jake's into Islam. Hey, you come across a guy that's in Islam, fill him out for about 5 minutes and then let his ass go. Because that's a special kind of demon. That Islamic demon on brothers and sisters, leave him alone. And if Farrakhan don't repent, he's gonna eat that fire. He's gonna take that chip and he's gonna eat that fire too. The 9th verse. Jeremiah 3 verse 9, and it came to pass through the lightness of her whoredom that she defiled the land and committed adultery with stones and with stocks. That's talking about Israelites. The her is talking about Israelites. Let me open that up. Not going to make this long. Faithless Israel. So what is that talking about? That's talking about Israelites. Israel is likened unto a comely and beautiful woman. The polluted land. So Babylon is a polluted land. We shall eat our defiled foods among the Gentiles, right? See, we're stacking up charges and receipts on this place. We are the spiritual men, the high priest. We are on the altar. Altar is America. 5,000 square miles is this is a gigantic altar where you make sacrifices. So once we say what we got to say, then the Most High would bring fire on this place, because it's going to be a burnt. This place is going to be a burnt sacrifice. Sacrifice in Bozrah, Isaiah 34. He compared the people to cattle. So Babylon the Great has to go out that way. Burnt sacrifice. And yeah, up there in Canada, they rioting and Palestinians are tearing shit up there, but they're keeping it out of the news. I'm not going to read all these verses here. Okay, this is Yahushai. Matthew 19, verse 9. And I say unto you, whosoever shall put away his wife, except it be for fornication. That word fornication is adultery. It does not mean having sex before marriage. When you have sex with a woman, that's the first time the woman, you deal with that woman. She's a virgin. I mean it in the Parthenos sense of the word. Never been touched. That's your wife, whether you got paperwork or not. And shall marry another, committeth adultery, and whoso marrieth her, which is put away, doeth commit adultery. Let me just open this up. So the penalty for adultery is the person gets put to death. So there's millions of cases in New York State and in this country where you got a man and a woman, they're married, and the man kills the woman because she committed adultery, but he gets locked up anyway. So you never had no laws on the book. What the fuck y'all talking about? I'm sorry. It said, for this cause shall a man leave father and mother and cleave unto his wife, and they twine two shall be one flesh. Wherefore they are no more twine two, but one flesh. What therefore the Most High have joined together, let not man put it asunder. They say unto him, these wicked scribes and Pharisees, why did Moses then command to give a writing of divorcement and put her away? He saith unto them, Moses, because of the hardness of your heart, because you were wicked as hell, you're going to do it any damn way, suffered you. That's why we need a new covenant, and we're not in the new covenant. If we was in a new covenant, for you knuckleheads out there wouldn't be no adultery. You wouldn't have to go to your neighbor and tell him the law. That's in the kingdom, and it's going to start when the destruction comes. When we get beamed up into them ships, that's when the change is going to come. To put away your wives, but from the beginning it was not so. Got to go back to Adam, to Genesis. And I say unto you, whosoever shall put away his wife, except it be for adultery. The word there is an adultery. And shall marry another, married another woman as married, committeth adultery. He can have more than one wife. Christians read that wrong too. They say, see, a man that cheats on his wife is committed. No, he's not committing adultery against his wife. If he lays with another woman outside of his wife and she's married, he's committing adultery. And this is why we don't tolerate you Christians, man. So when you come up, call the cops on them. Tell them we ain't dealing with you. If you want to learn this thing, you got to shut the hell up and you got to denounce Christianity. In order for you to come into witchcraft, you got to denounce Christianity. If you was born a Christian, a ceremony that you do is you take the cross, you turn it upside down, and you break the two that makes the T. You break it down. That's where you get the peace symbol from. The peace symbol means you were a Christian and you denounced Christianity and you became a witch. And they was pushing that in the 60s. That's a ritual that you go through. You know, if you were an atheist, you never believe in God anyway, so you can come into witchcraft. But if you're a Christian, there's a ceremony that you got to do, and that's fully denouncing Christianity to accept, you know, being a witch. And they got laws protecting witches, you know, people that practice black magic. That's all in the military. This place is going to go, man, by fire. Burnt sacrifice. Whoso marrieth her, which is put away, doeth commit adultery. So you put your wife away, another man come and deal with her, that's adultery. You get another woman, that woman's married to a man, that's adultery. The penalty for that is death. So if the laws applied, everybody be put to death. If the new covenant was in play, everybody be put to death. His disciples say unto him, if the case of the man be so with the wife, it is not good to marry. Right, Paul said that. It's best that you don't have a woman if you're in this truth, in this present distress. 1 Corinthians chapter 7. But he said unto them, all men cannot receive this, saying, save they to whom it is given. Then it goes into the eunuch. Now Paul was a eunuch, but he didn't cut his rod off. You had men that had their rods cut off and the family jewels taken away from them because they were working around women in harems. So the man knew the man ain't gonna do nothing to him because he ain't got nothing to work with. They chop it off. So Paul didn't get it chopped off. Paul just didn't deal with a woman because the Most High put the Spirit on him to deal. He was on that guy. Paul was working harder than all the apostles put together. That's why the apostle Peter bigged him up. So anyway, that's it. On to the next. Shalom.